Lyrics of the Lost.
And welcome back for episode 25 with your hosts, Dave, surname withdrawn.
And Peter Davis.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Tony Martin, there, introducing me, a personal hero of mine and comedy legend. Very nice. Sorry, Dave, can I get a celebrity to introduce you next time?
A hero of mine. James Earl Jones. Is he alive?
James, I think. I don't know if he's very much online. It might be hard to get in touch with him, but
Okay.
I'll see what I can do.
He's probably on Cameo. Everyone else is.
All right, well, we're already on our way now, and episode 25 is this. Kiss from a Rose by Seal, 1994. And that's his real name too, I was surprised to see. His full name, Seal Henry Olisegun Olamide Adeola Samuel.
I bet that's exactly how his parents pronounced it too.
Of course it is. Yes, you would say it exactly the same way too, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I would have avoided saying it altogether.
Yes. Well, maybe I should put you on the spot then. Do you want to have a go? You probably haven't got it written down.
I haven't got it written down, no.
Oh, how convenient. Okay, well, anyway, this song written by Seal himself, but actually 7 years earlier in 1987. And it didn't even make it onto his debut album in 1991. Seal is said to have been embarrassed by it and hid it away until 1994, when it seems Seal was checking down the back of his couch, looking for ideas to show his producer for the second album, and it seems Trevor Horn, the producer, then sort of championed it and reworked it to make it the hit that it became.
Yeah, I think he didn't even want to, well, he wasn't even thinking of giving it to the producer then. I think it was his friend who told Trevor Horn about it.
Yeah, yeah.
The words that Seal used were he threw it in the corner about the song, yes.
And maybe later it fell down behind the back of the couch.
Probably.
You know, while he was trying to vacuum, he probably would have tossed it again over the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And,
Or else he moved the couch.
Yeah, or the cat picked it up and just played with it for a bit and dropped it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Always happening. So what do the lyrics mean? Well, we're not... well, boys and girls, we're not going to get any help from Seal himself, who last wrote online, "I have avoided explaining these lyrics for over 25 years. I am not going to start doing it now." So
yeah, he's refused to explain it on more than one occasion. There's another thing I found where he said, "I think it's the general vibe of what I'm saying that's important."
Does this mean he's actually still embarrassed by it and he doesn't want to talk about it?
Possibly, yeah. He said, it's the perception of what I'm saying rather than what I'm actually saying that is the key.
Yeah. And apparently he didn't even print the lyrics on the CD sleeve or anything.
No. And my interpretation of that stuff that he printed on he printed that little explanation on the CD sleeve, and if you kind of paraphrase it, it's well, I know it doesn't make any sense, and I don't know what it's about either. So go for your life.
Yeah. Okay. And so we shall.
Yes.
And straight up, I have to confess again to a misheard lyric, because I always thought it was "Kiss from a Rose on the Grave." The grave being of something that's died, like a relationship where maybe Seal got dumped and the memory of that girlfriend is bittersweet. Happy, but sad. A rose, but it's on a grave. And I think that's really great imagery and beautiful writing that Seal almost wrote there. I'm glad to see a lot of people online thought like me that it was grave, and not just the colour grey or lack of colour grey.
Yes, I was exactly the same.
Okay. But no, it's Kiss from a Rose on the grey. And what is the grey? Well, this being 1987, it's not going to be the Liam Neeson thriller called The Grey in that 2011 movie. The Grey was the lead wolf in a wolf pack that was hunting air crash survivors. awesome movie. But no.
And weirdly, when you Google The Grey, because I did exactly that, because I too had no idea what he was talking about. And that movie, which I'd never heard of before, is pretty much the only thing that comes up when you Google The Grey.
Yeah, well, it is a good movie. It's maybe a guilty pleasure, but I think it was very effective. You haven't seen it?
No. Is Liam Neeson playing an ordinary man in an extraordinary situation?
Well, not entirely, because he is kind of a hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he was a hunter or some sort of security personnel.
I read he was like an oil rig worker or something.
At an oil rig, But he was in charge of like shooting polar bears and things, like some Arctic thing, or semi-Arctic. Yeah. But no, I recommend it. Worth a look. Okay. And you got to see right to the end of the credits too, because there's a cheeky bit at the end.
Is Seal there?
No, the Grey is there.
Right, with a rose on it.
Not that I noticed.
Okay,
but it could be some blood.
Opportunity lost.
Yeah. You've just reminded me of Terminator 2. You remember how Guns N' Roses did some music for Terminator 2, and then they were, looking for some vision from the movie to put with the song. And sure enough, by pure coincidence, there's a scene early on where the Terminator pulls a big shotgun out of a box of roses. So Guns and Roses were right there.
Well, there you go. Well, this song was in a movie too. It was in
a couple. Yeah.
Well, I think it was mostly known for being in one of the Batman movies. I think the one with Val Kilmer in it.
That's right.
Yes.
I was surprised. I thought this song must be from a Hugh Grant, Richard Curtis romantic comedy. And then I saw the video and thought, there's all these shots of Batman in it. This is not what I expected.
No, and I mean, there are two videos for the song. I was going to mention this later, but there's one video where I think he's like a fashion photographer.
Oh.
And he's taking pictures of this woman and they're doing whatever. He's got his shirt half off like he normally does. And then I assume he made some kind of inappropriate suggestion to her at some point, because then at the end of the song, she's trying to get away from him.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's no good.
No. And then there's the Batman one where...
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen, yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. You've actually got to search quite hard on YouTube to find the other one. But
yeah, the one with Batman is noted to be the official video, but maybe they just put official in the title because you can put anything in the title, really.
Well, maybe they're just embarrassed about the one where he's a photographer who made an inappropriate suggestion to a young woman.
Yeah, well, that is problematic. But the whole Batman one's not very interesting either. He's like, apart from the clips from the Batman movie, which is no great thing. They also have him in a sort of black vinyl coat, but bare-chested, and he's basically lip-syncing the song next to a big blue floodlight, which is the bat signal floodlight, and he's being buffeted by a wind machine. So it's a very basic clip. So
yeah, and the bits from the movie really didn't relate to anything in the song at all. It was just some action sequences and Nicole Kidman, and then
Nicole Kidman is Dr. Chase Meridian, the psychiatrist or something.
Yeah. Well, we can't look to either of those videos, I don't think, for any clues to what this song is about.
No.
Yeah.
And we can't look to the Liam Neeson one either.
I don't think we can look to this song for any clues about what this song is about either.
No, but at least as to the Grey, Seal helpfully explains in the first line, there used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. A graying tower alone on the sea. So, we've got a lone tower on the sea, and it's going a bit grey. And structures that are greying, that would infer that it started out as white. So a formerly white tower on the sea could only be a lighthouse, really. And perhaps the lighthouse is abandoned, or they would probably have to repaint it for good visibility, which is pretty important in a lighthouse.
Well, I thought that first line was actually a pretty good start. I mean,
It's very evocative, yeah.
well, yeah, the graying tower alone on the sea. There's a lot of potential there for further exploration that I was looking for later in the song. Yeah, got these images of a lonely, like you said, lighthouse out on a rock in the middle of the sea in a storm. It's old, as you say, maybe abandoned, decaying.
Yeah.
It speaks to coldness, age, solitude, sadness.
Yeah.
It even occurred to me this morning that it reminds me of Darth Vader alone in his grey castle of evil surrounded by a sea of lava.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought of that as well.
Ah.
I'll have to come back to that,
Okay.
because we'll come up to that lyric in a second.
But yeah, I was intrigued to find out where this image was going to take us later in the song.
Yeah. It's actually the very next line, and you became
the light on the dark side of me.
the light on the dark side of me.
Ah, yes.
So that made me think, reference to Star Wars. Luke was a light to the dark side of his father, who, spoiler alert, was Darth Vader. Sorry. You had to know by now.
Sorry.
Anyway, Darth was on the dark side of the Force, but Luke was on the light side, and eventually brought him out of the dark side. And Seal might see himself metaphorically as a bit of a Darth Vader,
Yeah.
not having much luck with the ladies.
Yeah.
But graying tower alone on the sea. Yeah, no, Darth Vader had a black castle on the edge of a lava river. But as a slightly cheerier getaway holiday home type of thing, Darth might have had a graying tower on a sea, where he could just chill out as a holiday place and maybe celebrate.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, you could celebrate Life Day there, which was the holidays celebrated in the notorious Star Wars holiday special.
Yes. Now you've reminded me of the Wookiee porn.
Wookiee porn? Was there?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, there's this, I think it's Chewbacca's uncle or grandfather gets fitted with some kind of headset.
Oh.
And he's
Virtual reality porn.
kind of, yeah. And he's watching suggestive dances and, I'm getting flashbacks. I'm sorry. I can't go on. Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole you're going down there.
Yeah.
And I could say to the listeners, go and check that out on YouTube, but I really can't recommend you do that.
No, do not check it out.
No, it'll be even more disappointing than the prequel movies are.
Yeah. Unless you want to see, I'm pretty sure Carrie Fisher sings in it.
Oh, yes, good. Well, you can see her sing in all sorts of places. She used to sing quite a lot with her mother, Debbie Reynolds.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Must be video of that somewhere.
Fair enough. Well, if you want to see Carrie Fisher singing, search out another video.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got this greying lighthouse, which they should repaint. I don't know if they still paint them white. I think sometimes they're red. They could actually start painting them in like a fluorescent yellow or orange.
Yeah, safety colours.
Like they've got nowadays. But then the lighthouse wouldn't be allowed into some of the nicer pubs in town. Sorry, mate, no high-vis gear. Can't let you in, champ.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but anyway, we've got a lighthouse to start the song, and I'm pretty sure about that. So, and as we've already gone into, you became the light on the dark side of me. So I take that to mean that Seal is actually the lighthouse itself. He's an older guy, 60 years old now, going a bit grey. And this is where I had to go back to that old website, celebheights.com.
Oh.
Yeah, remember that? We haven't used that since the Billy Joel episode.
Yeah, I got the feeling Seal is quite tall. Am I correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Find out the height of any celeb you like at celebheights.com. And Seal is 6'4". Definitely a greying tower.
Perhaps that's why he shaved his head.
Oh, to get rid of the grey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's often a good way to go if he's also going bald. Nip it off before it becomes too obvious and just shave your head. Don't do a comb over, which is very hard for black people to do comb overs, I think. It's hard to keep that hair straight.
Well, at one point Seal had like big long dreadlocks, so that would be a really unusual comb over, I think.
Oh yeah, I suppose with a long enough dreadlock that could work, but
you could probably go around twice.
That's a challenge for anyone out there with dreadlocks. Shave a bald patch on top and see if you can plaster a dread or two over the top. And send us a photo.
Sure. Yeah.
So, with lighthouses, the older ones definitely had like one rotating light backed with mirrors to intensify the light, and that light would sweep across the landscape as it rotated. But the back side of the mirrors was, of course, dark. So if the light is out, then both sides are dark. But she became the light on the dark side of me, so it's like they're standing back to back and rotating. She's full of light and helping him to shine again as an old lighthouse that thought all his loves were perhaps behind him. And if we want to look even more literally at these two people, Seal is a black English guy with African and Brazilian heritage, and the love of his life was Heidi Klum, a pasty white German supermodel. So standing back to back and rotating as couples often do, they could indeed rotate dark light, dark light. And now I'm not making this about race. I'm just chasing down a metaphor here. So, anything could be a clue. So that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
But like I said, when I first heard this song, I did assume it was a white guy. I thought it was someone from one of those British boy bands who had maybe gone solo, like your Gary Barlow type person or someone like that. It does sound like a song from a British rom-com, so I just sort of naturally... Yeah, and you don't get much whiter than that, the Richard Curtis romantic comedies.
That's true. Are there any black people in any Richard Curtis comedy?
I'm struggling to think of one.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
No.
I was thinking for some reason is Denzel Washington in one, but no, he's not. Why would he be? No. Idris Elba? No.
Denzel Washington as the good cop having a bad day in Love Actually.
Why not?
Yeah.
Next we have... Love remained
a drug that's the high and not the pill.
Love remained a drug that's the high and not the pill. So now, unfortunately, we've entered that sad old trope, the laziest of lyric writing, comparing love to a drug. How many times have we been here?
Well, lots. That's how many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I had exactly the same thought of you, and without even thinking about it, I came up with Love is a Drug by Roxy Music. Clue is in the title. Huey Lewis wanted a new drug.
Yes.
It's like being in love.
Yeah.
The Weeknd, he couldn't feel his face when he's with some woman because she's so much like being on drugs.
Oh.
You got Robert Palmer, who's addicted to it.
Mm.
Yeah. I put that down as one of those lines where when he wrote it, he thought that was really cool and clever and original.
Groundbreaking. Provocative.
Yeah. He thought, this is such a great idea. Yeah. Love really is similar to being addicted to a drug, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody else has used that in a song. I'm going to put that in.
If Beatles used Lucy in the Sky with Diamond and stirred up some controversy, wait till they hear this.
That's right. Yeah.
Interestingly, though, Seal suggests that while the high of a drug is great, the pill... the delivery system of that high is somehow the antithesis of that, which seemed odd to me. Although, he might be someone who has a strong gag reflex and has trouble swallowing pills, and they do sometimes have that sort of nasty, chalky surface that sticks in your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Often a bitter aftertaste too.
Yeah.
That's not nice. But, I guess love is also better than a drug because it doesn't require the delivery system. Like just only really needs a bit of pheromone in the air or perhaps some of that Lynx Africa deodorant that drives women wild.
Yeah.
Drives women wild, but somehow it's always on special down the shops. So
I think it drives teenage girls wild when worn by a teenage boy. Or at least...
Oh, right, okay.
I assume it does because plenty of teenage boys seem to wear it.
Yes. And next we have...
But did you know that when it snows...
but did you know that when it snows...
My eyes become large and...
My eyes become large and...
The light that you shine can't be seen.
And the light that you shine can't be seen. coming straight after the last line with love as a drug, it's very tempting to see this line as being about drugs too, and snow or cocaine is indeed known to make your eyes become large, or more correctly, the pupils dilate and eyes appear large. So, love was the drug in the previous line, but now drugs are the drugs.
Drugs are drugs, yes. And it's all just very mixed, isn't it? I mean, first of all, he's a lonely grey tower. Does a lonely grey tower take drugs? Is it a tower by the sea that's a drop-off point for some drug smugglers?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Is that just like where he hides out? Is he a reclusive heroin addict in his tower by the sea? It's just very confusing.
Yeah, well, there is some mixed metaphors for sure.
Yeah,
and that's pretty sloppy, but at the same time, that is consistent with someone who is on drugs and it's affecting their lyric writing. So maybe it all works.
Yeah, but he must have thought it's a good image, because he comes back to it later where he talks about you're like a growing addiction that I can't deny. That's not exactly. Yeah. So
he's really labouring it.
Yeah. So maybe this is just another song about love being as powerful as narcotics, or it's a song about narcotics being as powerful as narcotics. I can't really tell.
Yeah, it's either about narcotics and using love as the metaphor, or it's about love using narcotics as a metaphor.
Exactly, yeah.
Plus towers, for some reason.
Yeah, and towers, yes.
Yeah. Or again, if the metaphor is Star Wars, then the snow could refer to the ice planet Hoth.
Oh, yes.
And Vader couldn't see Luke shining on the light side of the Force because of all the snow glare, and maybe the lenses in his helmet weren't well polarized for snowy conditions, and that's why they all got away. They were able to escape him.
Well, that's true. And I did think maybe it's about seasonal allergies.
Oh.
Perhaps he suffers from allergies in winter, and when it snows, his eyes get all puffy and he can't see it properly.
Interesting.
Yeah. So his eyes are running, or as you brought up, snow blindness. I don't know why, but the inflammation might make your eyes become swollen and large. If he's in his lonely grey tower by the sea, sometimes during winter it might snow. Lots of UV radiation reflecting off the snow, and his eyes become sensitive to light. Doesn't want to look at the light that she's shining, or I don't know.
Probably not, your regular allergies, though. I would have thought the middle of winter, nothing much is growing or pollinating and flying about. So
that's true. It could be more of an irritation thing from the cold wind.
I had another thought that, again, with maybe the snow is just snow, and maybe Seal in the metaphor is not the lighthouse. He might instead be a lonely sea captain. Arr. And he's lost in the dark rough seas of his romantic life, and the snow is now blocking the light of the girl that returned to the lighthouse, and Seal, the lonely sea captain, was being guided by that light, but is now lost again. So, or of course, Seal could in fact be an actual lost ocean seal, in the same situation. One that learned to look for lighthouses and knows to navigate by them. And seals are pretty smart, so we can't really discount that.
No. And since you mention actual seals, I was searching for cover versions of this song, and there's a YouTube video in which this song is entirely performed by seals. Yeah,
that have been auto-tuned to sort of roughly bark along to the tune to
roughly
limited success, but it's a good effort. There's some good bits there. I'll just play a bit here, actually. Yes. Yes, excellent. But, whether he's a seal or a sea captain or a lighthouse, it is snowing at sea level, which doesn't happen much ever, except near the poles. So it's likely, I've deduced, that Seal is lost in the Barents Sea, with the nearest lighthouse being at the very tip of Norway, where it can snow at sea level and blind our lost sea captain, or Arctic seal, RR,
Ah.
from the guiding light of the greying tower or lighthouse, which could also be seal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's getting quite confusing.
Yes. So she's shining a light on the dark side of Seal, the tower,
Possibly seal, yes.
and then Seal, the sea captain, and or Seal is unable to see the light that he himself is shining from his tower, in addition to the light that she is shining onto his dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to summarize.
It's everything everywhere all at once.
Yes.
But at least, with the snow metaphor being snow and blocking out all the light from a lighthouse and presumably at night, again, your eyes do become large because pupils dilate this time as they are designed to in darkness to make the most of any faint light available. That's how our eyes adjust to darkness, everyone. So there we go. We're learning science as we listen.
So then the light that she shines should be more easy to see.
But not if it's blocked out by snow,
Oh,
Snow
or
flurries.
a big mountain of snow flurries, or a big mountain of cocaine.
Well, yes, indeed. Yes. And maybe she's busy shining her light and she hasn't, good enough time to clean, the outside of the lighthouse, the windows where snow is built up.
Yeah.
So many possibilities. If Seal is a sea captain, I was thinking that could also explain why the beginning of the song sounds a bit like a tune from a sea shanty.
Yes.
Yardy dar, dee dar, 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 dar.
Yeah, he referred to that as the Elizabethan part, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, like an old English sort of
Yes.
Morris dancing tune. Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Which I think actually connects to the chorus a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we're up to the chorus now, yeah.
We're up to the chorus, yeah, where he talks about, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grey. I feel like he's trying to get all Shakespearean there.
Oh, okay.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So he's being all Elizabethan and Shakespearean.
Yeah, I can see that,
Yeah. The difference being that in, I think it's Sonnet 18, Shakespeare actually does go on to compare the subject of the poem to a summer's day.
Yeah.
Thou art more lively and more temperate and all that other stuff.
Yes.
Yes. So, he says he's going to compare it to a summer's day, and he actually does that. And I feel that's quite important. If you're going to say that you do something, you need to follow through and actually do it.
Rather than just telegraphing, I compare you to this, but I'm not actually going to bother giving you the detail of that.
Exactly. Yep. So I don't know. Is Seal saying she's similar to a kiss from a rose? Is she better? Is she worse? Do they share some characteristics? Got no idea.
Raises more questions than it answers. Yeah.
It's like the whole tower analogy thing. No follow through. I would be much happier if the chorus went something like, baby, you are strikingly similar to a kiss from a rose. And then he'd list all the similarities, right?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Or, baby, much like a rose, you smell lovely. But when you kiss me, my face gets all scratched and itchy.
Yeah, that's very specific.
It's catchy too, I think.
Multiple points.
Yes.
Yeah. It does also raise the question, how does a rose kiss? Which parts are the lips?
Well, yes. But I was actually wondering whether he literally meant kiss with your lips when he said kiss. Have you ever heard of the term a Glasgow kiss or a Glaswegian kiss?
Oh, is that a headbutt?
It's a headbutt to the face, usually to give you a bleeding nose.
Yeah.
So is he comparing her to being smacked in the face with a rose?
A very solid rose that's going to give him a nosebleed.
Well, yes. Yeah. And in fact, I looked up other meanings of the word rose as well to see if I could try and understand what the hell he was talking about. So according to the Urban Dictionary, a rose is a sort of a beautiful, sweet girl, like a kind of dream girlfriend. So maybe he's comparing her to being headbutted in the face by a lovely, sweet, beautiful young girl.
Well, whatever turns you on, I guess.
Yeah.
You'd see stars either way, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
And then we've got,
Ooh, the more I get of you,
ooh, the more I get of you,
stranger it feels.
stranger it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great. Rhyming, actually. That I love that. Ooh, and the more I get of you. That's very clever. The more I get of you, stranger it feels. Yeah. I'm willing to bet that's right. The more you kiss a rose, the stranger it feels.
Yeah.
Probably start to feel, what? Why am I snogging a rose? How did this start?
Yes.
God, the more I do it, the stranger it feels.
Yeah. And why is my face bleeding?
And the more people are staring at me.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is a florist. It's a family florist. You'll have to leave.
Yeah.
And you'll have to pay for that rose. I can't sell it like that. Get out.
At least wipe it before you leave.
Yes. And now we come to the most troubling line for me.
Now that your rose is in bloom.
Now that your rose is in bloom.
Oh.
Very worried about this line.
It's a bit creepy, isn't it?
Very creepy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very prurient sort of euphemism that might have come from Old English, like one lord might say to another, "Sir, I cannot consider your proposal of marriage to my youngest daughter. Her chambermaids advise me her rose has not yet come into bloom.
You.
It is impertinent, sir, and I wish you good day."
Yeah.
Someone singing to a girl who's only just hit puberty is the meaning I take there.
Yeah, I went to a kind of a Lolita kind of scenario where Seal is the Humbert character, the aging, unreliable narrator, obsessed with this underage girl. Maybe that fits with him being alone in his tower, looking at, I don't know, teenage girl.
He's got some kiddie porn with him, has he?
In his tower, yeah.
Yeah. Keep it locked up in the top, very top of your tower.
Yeah. Yes. And don't turn the light on.
But, you know, just to paint the picture for people, with plants, they open up flowers to attract bees and other things that can help the plants to pollinate and reproduce. And so if Seal was to take this metaphor further, he might say, now that your rose is in bloom, I'm a coming buzzing round you with my big proboscis. And when you see how buff my thorax is, your nectar is going to start flowing, and I'm going to rub off some of that sweet pollen. Yes, and flower metaphors are a pretty well-known code for female genitals, and it's where we get the word deflowering. To deflower is to take a woman's virginity.
Yeah.
And I just saw an ad for a book on Amazon called Blossom and Bloom, Tips for Talking to Your Tween-Age Daughter About Puberty. So, yeah, there we go.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, it just occurred to me, but I don't know if this is better or worse. Maybe he's singing about his teenage daughter and how she's turning into a beautiful young woman. But that could be better or worse, couldn't it? Yeah.
The more I get of you, the stranger. Yeah, that's. Ooh.
Yeah, that's yeah. No, that's a bit too strange, isn't it? Okay, let's change tack.
But you know, whenever we talk of sex and flowers in bloom, it's important that we remember to send our thoughts and prayers to the people of North Queensland. Local politician and colourful identity Bob Katter went viral a while ago when he said,
I mean, you know, people are entitled to their sexual proclivities, you know. I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned, you know. But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
I remember that bit.
well said, Bob Katter, yes. So, yeah, whenever you see a rose in bloom, remember at that very same moment, someone in North Queensland is being torn apart by a crocodile. That's why I don't look at flowers anymore. It's too upsetting.
Yeah. Well, that would, I guess, fit in with the misheard lyric about this being a kiss from a rose on a grave, with all those people being torn apart by crocodiles.
Yes, yeah, you're lucky you've got enough left over to have a grave. Yeah.
You might need more than one.
Well, that too, yes. And so now that your rose is in bloom,
A light hits the gloom
a light hits the gloom.
on the grave.
A light hits the gloom on the grey. So Seal can now see the light again and be guided back to the land of love. But it does sound like he's been grooming a child until she's reached puberty and is biologically in bloom. Or maybe it's the age of consent being represented by blooming. And anyway, at least he's got mixed feelings about it, because the more he gets, the stranger it feels.
Yeah, it's strange, yes, but not wrong, not immoral, not unethical, not, well, frankly, illegal.
Yeah.
Just strange, yeah.
Yeah, well, perhaps this is the early start to realizing how wrong it is.
Maybe.
Starts with a strange feeling.
Yeah, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Back to Star Wars again.
Yes.
There is so much a man can tell you,
There is so much a man can tell you,
so much he can say.
so much he can say. And that's very true.
Yes.
Thank goodness all of us men have podcasts now, and we don't have to stop people in the street to tell you everything that we have to say. It's now all in podcast form, where everyone can ignore it all in one convenient location.
And
Well,
look,
that's progress.
to be honest, most of the songs we've covered seem to involve somehow a man having something to say,
Oh, yeah.
usually to a woman, or has written it for a woman to sing.
Mm.
The ironic thing is, in this song, Seal might have something to say, but he doesn't seem to have anything coherent to say.
Yeah, well, it's very impressionist, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just being kind there.
I guess it's one of those sets of lyrics that you should just sing them and not actually read them.
True. And that's what he would recommend too.
Yes.
But sadly, yeah, my head is now just stuck in that troubling metaphor with the rose in bloom, because a grown man can certainly say a lot to a confused young girl who's being groomed.
Yeah. You know what's even more troubling is that later on in the song he's actually admitting to whatever this is, because he's actually keeps saying, I've been kissed by a rose on the grey.
Yes.
So
He keeps confessing.
he keeps confessing, yeah.
You remain
You remain my power,
my pleasure, my pain,
my power, my pleasure, my pain.
baby.
Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with too many uses of the word baby too. Where did that ever come from? The fact that grown men call their partners baby. Well, I guess it happens the other way too. Women call men baby.
It does, yeah.
Or shortened to bay these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, it seems like now he's blaming the girl for all his feelings and choices, for being
Yep.
power, pleasure, pain.
To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny.
Yeah.
And to me, you're like a growing addiction that I can't deny. See, that sounds like someone who knows statutory rape is bad, but he's absolving himself because he's just an addict. He's the real victim, you see.
Yeah.
Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby?
Yeah. But then he's asking her, is that healthy? Well,
Yeah.
no. No.
Yeah, why are you asking a child to explain your choices and
Yes.
feelings?
Yeah.
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 I've been kissed by a rose.
Yeah, I've been kissed by a rose on the grey, he keeps repeating. And and now because of all of this, I'm thinking, okay, yes, the petals are the lips, and now I'm thinking the rose thorns are maybe like the prickly braces she's wearing because she's a child.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, ow. Oh, are you saying, oh, that's dark?
I'm going. It's me feeling the pain.
Well, did you have braces? I don't think you did. Did you? I can't remember if you had braces.
No, I didn't have braces. No, I didn't. I had a like a retainer thing that you put in and take out.
Oh, yeah. Lucky.
Yeah.
Then we've got...
If I should kiss by a rose on the grave.
and if I should fall, will it all go away? And I'm still feeling the whole dark metaphor thing, and that could mean if I should get caught and arrested, will it all go away, or will she visit me in prison?
Oh, yeah. Or if he literally falls from his graying tower. Yeah.
Well, when you get done for child sex, a lot of people might throw themselves off something. It's
yeah. Do you think it's possible that the lonely grey tower represents his penis?
Well, you need something else to confirm that, I think. What's the snow? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just asking.
Just putting it out there, as it were.
Yes, much like he was.
Yeah, so if only Seal hadn't brought Now That Your Rose Is in Bloom into this song, yeah, I can only see it as child abuse after that. I don't know. Could it still be an adult woman, and the bloom that's happened is just that she's got a nice new red dress that she looks pretty in, and that's what's caught Seal's eye?
Well, maybe it's just that thing where a fairly plain-looking woman that nobody notices takes off her glasses and shakes her hair out, and suddenly she's beautiful.
Yeah, that's her coming into bloom.
Yeah.
Taking her librarian glasses off and shaking her hair out.
Yep.
That's classic. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking, okay, if it is a young girl, perhaps she was also doing cocaine like he was, only she couldn't afford proper cocaine. She had to get the cheaper crack cocaine with her pocket money, and that's really aged her in a short space of time. And so this is all just a misunderstanding, and Seal thought she was 43. But in any case, I make no inferences or accusations upon the good character of Seal, but some metaphors are just dangerous, as is interpreting them.
Look, I'm sure whatever this is, it's a work of fiction.
Oh yeah, and not any sort of fantasy. No. But this is the explosive power of poetry and lyrics. It's not for the faint-hearted. We are professionals, so don't try this at home.
Yeah, we're not professional podcasters, though.
Oh no! Oh good God, no! We've only done 25 of these. How could we possibly be expected to do this properly? I think I'm otherwise ready to go on to other theories from the internet.
Ah, yes, I found a few of those also.
Well, let's trade some.
Yes.
I'll start then. Someone called Modesty writes, I think this is a song about a man who is in fact addicted to drugs. Wow. Yeah. So insightful. Yeah. And he finally meets a true, honourable, angelic woman who's not like the other girls he's usually with. An angelic woman. So when it snows, his eyes become large, meaning a time of Christ being born. He now feels like he believes in God or a higher power. The woman gave herself to him, even though it was against her beliefs. He left her, and the woman was very hurt, and she then realized not to ever put man above God, and knew for certain that she would not have relations with another man before marriage. Wow.
Oh. Wow, okay.
Jesus, yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
Bit religious there.
I didn't find any religious ones. I did find this one. Mostly refers to the line about the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. And he said, somehow this has science. This is from a website called Averil.com. It might be forbidden love, akin to taboo love, like necrophilia or incest.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Stranger it feels.
Yeah, or racial differences in this context. I mean, necrophilia isn't a place that we went to be fair.
Oh.
So,
yeah. Sounds positively wholesome compared to...
It does, doesn't it?
Where we've been going. But Aidan Jacob says, snow equals semen.
Of course. And
eyes become large is the facial expression he makes during the release of said semen, I think. That's his sex face.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. That's nice.
Painting a vivid image there.
It is, yeah.
Bold strokes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've found another sex-related one. You might want to actually edit this one out.
Oh. This is a family show.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yeah.
It's for some reason they wanted to remain anonymous. This song's about very clear when you hear it.
God.
The rose is thing is him, the and the effect on him. There you go.
Right. Yeah, that's quite graphic.
It is. Yeah, we can leave that one out.
Many folks are saying kiss from a rose is a well-known euphemism for injecting heroin, with the syringe stinging like a thorn, along with the nice feeling being like the flower bit of the rose, I guess.
Is it though?
I've not tried it to know, really.
Well, no. I'm, is it a well-known euphemism? It's just I think I read that one as well, and I thought, well, if it's a well-known euphemism, it should appear somewhere on the internet, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, you did a search for it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just saw a number of users say, oh, yeah, kiss from a rose, that's definitely about heroin. Yeah. They're always saying that on the street. Yeah.
I didn't use the street internet. I just used the regular internet.
You didn't use Streetopedia?
No.
Yeah. But anyway, JTB2709 says that the rose coming into bloom symbolizes the feeling at the onset of the heroin high, which is, I'd rather think that than think his girlfriend has just reached puberty.
Yeah, well,
thank goodness for the wholesome metaphor of heroin use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did find one other quite specific theory that was more to do with young girls, actually. But it seems like it reveals more about the person who wrote it. Someone called Heartcore11 on YouTube. Okay, so here we go. It's an infatuation for a very young neighbour girl. So we've got into the girl thing that spends only part of the year at a summer home.
All right.
And a songwriter that lives near, possibly Seal himself, has an attraction towards her. She is just a child, and the older man knows she is way out of bounds. Okay, yes, we've covered that. When the summer ends, she leaves, and he won't see her again until next summer. As the summers come and go, she becomes his addiction.
Oh, so his winter is when he's basically a greying tower, and it's all the grey of winter.
Yes.
And she's not back till summer.
Yeah, so he doesn't seem to leave his tower. I don't know. He could go somewhere else. He needs her, and he can't go without her to feed his desires and to watch her mature as time passes. When the girl turned possibly 13, the man thought she was in bloom. An age he thought her capable of filling his sexual desires and having knowledge of what happens between boys and girls. Yeah. Since he never could do or say anything because of her age and social troubles...
He wrote a song about it.
Yes. She never knew about his feelings. He wrote them down in a song.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It was a way to expel his feelings without crossing a
It just seemed
line.
Just there's a lot of very specific references here, such as the age of the girl and
it sounds a bit like he's writing his own fantasy there.
Yes.
With too much detail.
Yeah.
He's rejoicing in the detail a little much.
Yeah.
Voodoo Sock is a user who says, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da, obviously refers to the time Seal's parents were clubbed to death. And ba-da-da, ya-ya-ya-ya reflects the good times he can remember as a young pup. So, and he just goes on like that. He's making a big joke about Seal being an actual seal, as I've done too, so I can't really judge.
Yeah.
But that was like a thing I don't think I've heard since like the late 80s. People were really concerned about people clubbing seals, fur seals. But maybe it's all been stopped since then. Yeah.
I don't think the seal fur trade is much of a thing as it was.
Yeah, because it's real fur. Yeah, it's very hard to find a market for that anymore, isn't it? Yeah.
It's hard to find seals that have fake fur, so
yeah. That's true. Well, that's great. That's something, the wokeness of the last 30 years has achieved something there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Damn woke people won't even let you hit a seal on the head with a club.
Bloody nanny state.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone calling themselves Shut Up Retards says predictably, you're all retarded. In fact, he says, y'all are all retarded. you're all retarded. This song is about Batman, or else they wouldn't have put it on the Batman soundtrack.
Good point.
Very hard to fight that sort of logic.
Yep.
It's black and white there.
Yep.
And like me, users Know It All, Mandarin Baby 99, and others say this song is about pedophilia, quoting the, yes, now that your rose is in bloom. Mm-hmm. But Lewis from Chicago says the rose in bloom is a reference to a lady completely opening her heart to him. So maybe, sure. Whereas Micah T4 says, now that your rose is in bloom means the girl is having her period, and then a light hits the gloom is his relief that he didn't get her pregnant. So that's, yes, dark, but that was going in the same direction that I thought. Yeah. But then user Sadie Revealed thinks that the rose in bloom means she is pregnant, and he's happy she's having his baby. That's... the light hits the gloom again. Yeah, so, not exactly a consensus there. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't specify whether she's like 13 and he's 40 or not.
Not in some. Does in others.
Yeah.
Erica Beauchamp says the song is about an older black man who lost his wife. I assume he is old and widowed because, the greying tower alone on the sea. And I think he found a young white girl that he loved. You became the light on the dark side of me. And City 212 Girl agrees, saying it's about Heidi Klum because they are an interracial couple. But I don't think he knew Heidi Klum back in 1987.
I think it's interesting that people are obsessing over the interracial thing just purely based on the whole light.
The dark and light.
Is that what it's based on?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
He's greying and she's light.
Yeah. And truly, back in 1987, he wasn't 60 then. He's only 60 now. So
no, true.
He's like basically 30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, user TN has one word theory about this song: vaginas. So there you are.
There you go.
Any other theories?
No, I did find some other one-word theories, and most of them just said cocaine.
Yes, there was a lot of that, and then a lot of people arguing that, you guys thinking it's all about drugs are just so dumb. Why can't you get that it's a simile or a metaphor, and it just means love.
It's actually about vaginas.
Yeah, then other people just baiting the other people, and back and forth.
Yeah,
on a merry dance that is the internet comment forums.
The drugs. The drugs versus genitals debate carries on.
Sure. We can go on to misheard lyrics in this song, if you like.
Yeah.
As reported at kissthisguy.com and amiright.com. So, Teresa 1 and many others like me thought it was Rose on a Grave, but Teresa thought that meant the song was about a man who is still in love with his dead wife. And she writes, when my husband asked me to dance with him to this song, I told him no, because she didn't want to think of herself being dead. And she further thought that the song was veering into spiritism, trying to keep communicating with a dead girl. And that's against the scriptures, she writes.
Right.
Harsh lady.
Yeah.
It's got some strong beliefs there. Fair enough.
Talking about the grave thing, I came across one person on Reddit who was actually quite outraged by the idea that it might be grey rather than grey.
Yes, yeah.
Did you find that one?
I didn't see that one, but a few like it and the others.
Yeah. He says, there is no way that is correct. I, along with everyone I know, distinctly remember it as grave.
Yes. Well,
what the is a kiss from a rose on the grey? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
There you go.
My God, how are we supposed to deal with that sort of imagery? Must be about drugs.
I'm a believer in other Mandela effects. Definitely Berenstain. Is it
Berenstain
So the real thing
bears?
is Berenstain. Yeah, so he's got definitely Berenstain bears, but I've never discovered a Mandela effect of my own, especially not one this big. This is huge. Legit blowing my mind. 100% sure I am from a different universe now, no question. I remember this so clearly. I feel like I am losing my mind. Raging so hard from this. I can't be the only one. Big new Mandela effect in 2019.
God.
Yeah.
Someone's really got to unplug from the internet for a bit.
It's ruined their childhood.
Someone needs a timeout, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Another disturbing one here. The line, "Love remained a drug that's the high and not the pill," is heard by Forgotten Ranger. He heard it as, "Love remained a drug gets me high enough to kill."
Ooh.
And he insists on a message board that that is the correct lyric. And I'm a bit concerned that he might be a disturbed person with PTSD who was maybe fighting in the first Iraq War when the song came out.
Yes. Sometimes people bring a lot of their own experiences to these
Yeah,
types of things.
as Seal would encourage.
I guess. Yes, that's true.
Up to a point, perhaps.
Yes.
I don't know if he's going to like, he wouldn't like us to see some of the things we've seen so far.
To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny.
To me, you're like a growing addiction that I can't deny. This was heard by Anonymous as, "To me, you're like I wrote a dictionary in a night." To me, you're like I wrote a dictionary in a night. That's how you know it's true love, if it motivates you to write an entire dictionary in a night.
Or you've taken an awful lot of cocaine.
And you think, where's that dictionary? Never mind, I'll just write one. Just like in that episode of Blackadder.
Yes.
Although he wrote it out of fear and not love.
Yes.
The line was also heard as, "To me, you're like a word a dictionary can't define," which sounds pretty good.
No worse than anything else in the song.
Another person thought it was, "To me, you're like a grown-up dictionary I cannot buy." Like maybe
Top shelf dictionary.
dictionary with rude words that's only sold to adults. maybe it's illustrated as well. With a centerfold.
Oh.
"The more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah," was heard by Bob McTwelve as, "The more I get of you, strange odor fills the air." So, I don't know what sort of sex they're having can explain that. Best not look too closely. "I've been kissed by a rose on the grey," heard by Anonymous as, "I've been kissed by a Roman again."
Not again.
Oi, bloody Romans. Dean Bryan's mother. "Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grey," was heard by one last person as, "Baby, I compare you to a hiss from a cat I must slay," which I don't think is real, but it sounds cute. I quite like that.
Yeah, I'm not getting that.
You're not getting that it's genuine? Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I have to wade through so many of these misheard lyrics that are totally made up just to find anything that sounds like it could be a true misheard lyric. It's like panning for gold. Yeah. Well, that's all I've got. Anything else on Kiss from a Rose, Dave?
I think I've covered it, or we've covered it as much as we possibly can.
Yes. There is so much Men Like Us can tell you, so much we can say. And I think we have achieved that.
We have said it all.
Yeah.
Probably, really, for Seal's legal position, we probably said a little too much.
Yeah. Once again, it's all in personal interpretations, and, we make no warranty as to anything said, and no one should listen to this ever. So...
No, and we're making no comments on Seal's lifestyle whatsoever. That's his business.
And he's a man of good character, and it's just sickos like us that see different things. Yep. It says more about us. People look into a mirror and see what they want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phew,
I think... Are we safe now? I think...
Yeah. Any issues, please write to Seal, care of the lonely grey tower by the sea.
Yes. Which is at the tip of Norway, probably, where it snows. Well, thanks, everyone. See you next time. Send us a speak pipe, and
Bye for now.
Yes, I can pay you to a kiss from
Lyrics of the Lost.